What is your biggest culture shock living in the UK?
Black British people are always asking me where I'm from. Then when I tell them America, they're like digging for more. And there's not more because the whole slave trade.
I just literally yesterday had a video about this and they don't understand.
And they're like, you're not from Jamaica? I'm like, bro, there was a whole slave trade. Like, I don't know where I'm from.
And they almost shame us for not knowing.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, you think it was my choice? That for not knowing? They took our last name.
We don't have a culture, we don't have food, we don't have a language, we have nothing, and that's not our fault.
I would say we have a culture though. I feel like Black Americans have a culture now with the music, the food.
Yes, but there's not like how they have a culture,
Exactly.
and they don't understand.
And they can't comprehend that.
And I'm like, you want to be my friend or not?
Black Americans do not have culture. Did I just hear that coming from someone that stays in America? But anyways, I went into my further research and I asked the question if Black Americans do have a culture, because as far as I'm concerned, Black Americans have culture. Let's read. Yes, Black Americans have a rich and distinct culture, often referred to as African American culture or Black culture. This culture emerged from the unique experience, resilience, and creativity of descendants of enslaved Africans in the United States, blending African traditions with new innovations developed under the pressure of systemic racism and exclusion. It has profoundly influenced the broader American and global cultural landscape. But anyways, let me just pause here for now. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Sonia. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. Credit belongs to the original creator of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. When I literally saw this particular clip where a Black American woman is saying Black Americans do not have culture, I feel like there's a lot of things that have to be said, and I wanted to stay hooked to the end of this video because we are going to digest more about Black Americans culture. And why we are doing this is for us to educate ourselves more, because literally a lot of people has grown up, Africans, immigrants from different parts of the world, having this mindset that Black Americans do not have culture. And I keep asking myself, where is this from? But hearing it from a Black American person, we need to talk more about this. This is not to shame anybody, right? This is just for us to educate ourselves. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for always tuning in. Let's dive right into the remaining part of this video, and I'll be back with commentaries. Let's go watch, guys.
What makes it different from the US, yeah? Like, we kind of like claim our roots a lot more. I mean, I feel like we are more kind of like culturally diverse.
Is it weird when African Americans don't know where they're from?
Yeah, right.
It's not really our fault though.
Look, FBAs, we gotta stop supporting this false narrative that we don't know where we come from. That is straight up bullshit. We know exactly where we came from. We have been in this country, in the United States, since before it was the United States in 1776. We've been here since before that. So this whole narrative of, Black Americans don't know where they come from, like how, like that doesn't even make sense. How many generations do you got to be in a country before it is actually where you're from? Like all of that other stuff, like we're a mixture of a wide, long range of West African cultures plus other stuff. So how can you even sit up here and say that we're supposed to be from a specific place? That's stupid.
I feel like people of ethnic race in the UK, like, we tend to bond more with other people.
Yeah. See, British Africans here get mad at me when I say I'm American. I am African American, but my granddad's been in America, so technically America's all I know.
You're an American citizen. Do you know what you...
Technically, he's an American citizen. Okay, yeah, he's an American citizen, but he's an American natural, like he's a natural born American. He's a literal American. Like, y'all don't come at white people with this bullshit. You only come at us because we have brown skin.
What? No, ethnically.
I don't know.
I would find that strange. I feel like I wouldn't really have a personality.
What? No, that's all.
You wouldn't have a personality just because you're from, okay, let me gather my thoughts. You wouldn't have a personality because you're from the United States or because you're from Britain or whatever. Like, First of all, this is two totally different things. Being from Britain and being a black British person is totally different from being a black American in FBA, Salon. That's totally different things. Y'all are immigrants in Britain. We are not immigrants in the United States. That is the difference. Ain't nobody don't know, oh, well, you're an American citizen, like we're an immigrant. But I'm not no immigrant. We're not immigrants. This is our country. We built the country into what it is now.
A hot take. You wouldn't have a personality because you don't know where you're from.
Like, I take pride in where I'm from. If we just didn't know where we was from and was just walking around saying we're British, like, we don't feel like we have a culture.
If we didn't know where we were from, we didn't feel like we have an identity and a culture. This shit is really annoying. Like, and the reason why I'm irritated by this is just because I know that they're speaking out of just pure ignorance. I don't even think that they're trying to be offensive, but this is literally the ignorance that probably the vast majority of black Brits actually think about Americans. Like, they really think that we're just like this lost nation of immigrants that has no clue where we came from. Like, no, we are from here. We're American. We are American, guys. Just because we're brown does not mean that we're not American. There is no other country. It doesn't exist. There's all of that shit is gone. It's done. All of that West Africa, this done. It's a done deal. That shit is lost, gone. It is not relevant at all.
To bond more over food as well. Just call yourself American, mac and cheese and greens. That's just so like...
Soul food is part of black American culture because it stems back from the slavery days.
And then for her to sit up here and talk about like soul food, like mac and cheese and greens, like that is our culture. That's our cultural dish. Like, you wouldn't be saying that about any other dishes from around the world. The only reason why they talk so much shit about us black Americans, about us FBAs, Solons, the only reason why they talk like this about us is because we are naturalized Americans on this soil. And this is not a country that is ran by people that look like us. Okay, that's really the real of what it is. That's the reason why they don't be clocking the Caribbeans and the Jamaicans and all of them. That's the reason why they don't clock them like the way that they be trying to clock us, is because we're not ran by people who look like us. We don't have a country full of people who all look the same. We don't come from a country where everybody looks the same. This is a melting pot. And it's really weird that she said in the beginning of the video, and she's like, you know, we're more culturally diverse over here. It's like, this is literally the melting pot of the world. But anyway, aside from all of that, I feel like there's a lack of respect for FBAs, you know, black Americans, because of the fact that we are not actually the owner. Like, we don't actually run shit here. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are still technically living under our oppressor, you know, in a lot of ways. So that's probably really what it is, but that doesn't make us any less American. And I think that that's the part that they're having a hard time, like, wrapping their head around.
Guys, I don't think American people know where they actually come from. Like, when you ask them where are they from, they'll be like, oh, I'm from Atlanta, or oh, I'm from Tennessee. But they don't actually know where they come from. Okay, like, for example, if you ask us, yeah, where are we from? The first thing we'll say is it the country or the ends? Ends is like what area you're from. So you could be from north, east, south, or west. I'm from east. But sometimes in east, they could be like, oh, in east, where you from? And I'll be like, okay, I'm from Hackney. Then I'll be like, I'm from Nigeria, because that's where my parents are from. I'm Nigerian. But Americans, I don't think they know. They just say the ends. Like, they just say where they were born. Like, you know, oh, I'm from LA. But that's not where your parents are actually from. So when we call them dumb, it's because of them type of simple things. Like, you're meant to know where you're actually from. Like, because you don't know where you're actually from. They check on websites and stuff where they're actually from. They'll be like, I'm 90% this, I'm 90% that. Your parents should know where they're actually from. But it's clear as day that they don't. Because when they're representing, they only represent where their ends are from, which is okay, but they don't know where they're actually from.
Okay, I've been wanting to talk about this for a while. What is up with British people's obsession with Black Americans? I had a friend, she was actually from Amsterdam, but it doesn't matter. She introduced me to two people that lived in London, and we were on like a group FaceTime one day. First of all, they start talking shit about New York, how it's dirty, da da da. First of all, not too much on New York. I feel like if you're not from New York, or if you don't live in New York, you can't talk shit on New York. I live in New York, so I have my own personal problems with New York, and I can talk about New York if I want to, but if you don't live here, you can't talk about it. Anyway, so they start talking about New York, and then they're like, oh, where are you from? Da 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 da. And I was like, oh, I'm Caribbean, and my mom is from this island. And they were like, oh, yeah, because I was about to say, like, Black Americans, they don't know where they're from, and da 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 da. Bro, do y'all know slavery was a thing? Like, are we forgetting slavery? Like, everybody knows that slavery was a thing and that a lot of Black Americans don't know where they're from because of slavery. Like, they're acting like that's not abnormal. That's not normal to not know where you're from if you're Black American. If you're an immigrant like my parents are, or yeah, if you're an immigrant, then obviously like you migrated to the United States, so you know where you might know where you're from, yeah, because your parents are not from the US. But if your parents are from the US, your parents are from their parents are from the US, their parents are from the US, and so on. Obviously, you might not know exactly where you're from because you're not native to America, but like, you know what I'm trying to say? Obviously, honestly, if you want to be real, if you want to go technical with it, we're all from Africa. If you're Black, you're from Africa. But because of slavery, they took some people from Africa, they dropped them off in the Caribbean, they took the next group, dropped them off in this location, took the next group, dropped them off in the United States. Like, I thought we all knew that. Like, what is this obsession with Black Americans and not knowing where they're from? Like, I thought, yeah, we kind of know. We, like, they don't know where they're from. We don't know. I don't know what the fuck. I thought we all kind of knew, like, yeah, Black Americans don't know where they're from because of slavery. Like, why is this, like, such a big thing? Like, oh. And another guy, I put my location on Hinge to London because I'm going to London for my birthday. And another guy asked me the same thing. They were like, oh, he was like, what's your heritage? And do you know where your ancestors are from? And I was like, yeah, my mom is from this island. I'm from the Caribbean. And they're like, honestly, no, he didn't even argue with me. I thought he was going to argue with me, but he didn't. I feel like if I would have said I'm just black or whatever, then he probably would have argued with me. But because I said, yeah, I'm Caribbean and my mom's from this island, I feel like he didn't argue with me. But if, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like if I would have said Black, he would have been like, you don't know where you're from. I don't know why that pisses me off so much. Every time I see a video, they do like the public interviews and they're like, what do you hate about Americans? And they're like, they don't know where they're from. Like, shut up. Like, everyone knows we don't know where we're from because of slavery. Like, everybody knows that. Like, America is a country that's built off of other people's shit. I don't know. I feel like everyone kind of knows that. And it's really so annoying when people constantly say that Black Americans don't know where they're from. What is your obsession with...
What's your biggest culture shock living in the UK?
Black British people are always asking me where I'm from. Then when I tell them America, they're like digging for more. And there's not more because the whole slave trade.
I just literally yesterday had a video about this and they don't understand.
And they're like, you're not from Jamaica? I'm like, bro, there was a whole slave trade. Like, I don't know where I'm from.
And they almost shame us for not knowing.
Yes.
I'm like, bro, you think it was my choice? That for not knowing? They took our last name.
We don't have a culture, we don't have food, we don't have a language, we have nothing, and that's not our fault.
I would say we have a culture, though. I feel like Black Americans have a culture now with the music, the food.
Yes, but there's not like how they have a culture,
Exactly.
and they don't understand.
And they can't comprehend that.
I'm assuming that she must be an orphan because otherwise I can't see how she cannot know where she's from. And you know what I noticed about Black people who visit, especially the UK? It seems like they almost kind of lose a lot of their esteem or something. Like they lose their national esteem or their racial ethnic esteem, because I think maybe because all of the questions of where you're from, where you really from, and trying to dig deeper and deeper and deeper, and they can't tell them anything else because there isn't anything else to tell. There's nothing further about our story that needs to be told other than I'm from America, I'm from the United States. I just feel like sometimes a lot of these Black Americans that go over there, like even like the host that does these type of street interviews in the UK, they're way too nice. They don't do enough pushback on people when they try to say these types of things or push these types of narratives on us as if we're supposed to be immigrants like they are, because there's no way in hell I'm gonna let somebody try to drill me into telling them that I'm from somewhere that I don't know nothing about. You not about to try to force me to mention a country that I ain't never been to, ain't never seen, don't know nothing about, ain't got no family over there. If I'm American, I'm just American. And like, how could she sit up here and say that we don't have a culture, we don't have a language, we don't have anything? Like, are you even from America? Like, that's what I'm wondering. Like, is this woman even from America? What Black American do you know would even say something like that? There's no Black American that would go out here really and telling people that we don't have no culture, no language, we don't have no nothing. We have all of that, all the above. It may not look the way that theirs looks because we don't have tribal culture, but we have our own culture that everybody cosplays and copies all around the world. There is no other culture that I would even want to be a part of. I've never looked at another culture and thought, damn, I would love to be a part of that.
Anyways, welcome back. You guys know that I started the Black American culture, but I have to take a pause because I wanted us to digest a little bit before we moved into my deep research. For those of you that have literally grown up with that illusion, saying that Black Americans do not have culture, I hope after watching this, you will be able to learn more